All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is June 14th, 2021. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, how you doing? It's your boy Pokemon Trigger, please. And oh my gosh, do we have news today?
Oh, brother, yes we do, yes we do. How's your how's your week been, brother?
It's been fantastic. I know yesterday was fun for both of us.
Yes.
Definitely looking forward to what's to come. But yeah, it's been a good week so far.
Definitely. The reason why we actually are having the podcast today on Monday instead of Sunday yesterday is because I actually had a early birthday dinner with the fam and all my friends. So, I kind of didn't go back home until like 12 anyway because I went to hang out with my friends afterwards. So I was like, okay, cool. I mean, like. Yeah, we'll talk Pokemon Go news and updates just like we always do because we love the game just as much as you do. But just we wanted to at least also enjoy some stuff. My birthday isn't exactly yesterday. It's actually tomorrow. As the recording of this podcast, of course, June 15th. So yeah, it's finally time for the last year of my 20th to go away. I'm like, I don't want to anymore. Of course, Chris is like a baby compared to me at this point.
For now.
For now. Don't worry. You'll get there. But let's also remind everybody that we are part of the Professor Network. Please check us out, professornetwork.com/podcast. Wonderful people to always work with. There's been always something to talk about with them every single time. So that's good. All right, Chris, let's talk. Shift the gears. Let's back it up to last week and see what we got. What is your haul this week, my brother?
I got one.
That's it?
I got one shiny, and it's a pretty decent one. I got a Shadow Shiny Venonat.
All right.
And I didn't have Venonat yet, so I'm definitely excited about it. But
and there goes his mic. Wonderful. So while he comes back, I definitely do want to make sure that we talk about all these good news we're gonna have. We are also gonna be talking about some old news that happened during the week while I wait for Chris to come back. And there's definitely something for everybody out here, guys. And sorry for the technical issues there, everybody. We love when our internet can actually coincide here or not. Let's see if I can get Chris back here. This is going to be an interesting podcast for sure. Where you at, Chris? Where you at? Okay. I don't know where he is. Huh. Well, while I wait for Chris to come back, and it feels like he's going to come back, it's now back. You there, Chris?
yeah.
Did you hit something?
No. The internet just said, nah, I'm gonna just drop out. It made me cry.
It's all right. I was filling in the gap a little bit here and there, just talking about a few things. But yeah, you were talking about how you got your Shadow Shiny Venonat. It's the only one you actually have. And then what else you were saying?
I was just saying when I was rudely interrupted by my internet drop, that I just want to get one more for the family.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow or not.
That's true. I actually have one earlier. It's not a Shadow, but it is something that I had before. I do want another one for the family too. It wouldn't mind being a Shadow, but of course I get every other leader but the same one, so. But yeah.
It's double up.
So no handles or anything else, Chris?
Nah. The only things I get are like 98s, 96s. I think other than that, the only cool thing I got was a Shadow Tangela.
Nice. All right. So for me, I got a couple of shinies. First and foremost, I got a shiny Bumblebee. Bumblebee. So yeah, it actually one that I've been wanting for a while since the shiny has been released. I'm glad I got it. I got it right here, like sitting right here, like playing games and all that. So that's actually pretty nice. I also got a shiny Slowpoke. So that's amazing. I finally got the shiny for that. Been waiting to get it, even though it's so hard to tell the difference between shiny and non-shiny. I was like, I
Every
clicked on
time I
it.
click on them, I'm like, is it?
Yeah, I know, right? I need to wait for the sparkles to come up and be like, oh, okay, it's shiny. And I've been doing a couple of raids. I got another shiny Regirock and 2 shiny Registeels. So I through the raids I've been doing, like, I've been wanting to get extra large candies for Registeels anyway, but especially because of the news that we're going to be talking about in just a moment. But unfortunately I didn't get as much as I wanted to, so I only got like 100 extra large candies. And no hundos, unfortunately. I did get a 98 though, so that's actually pretty good. No hundo rate.
15 attack?
Yes, I believe. I don't remember.
Okay.
As for hundos, I did get. I don't know if I talk about the hundo kibble that I got through trading. So that's my 5th hundo kibble, surprisingly. And I got a Purified not shiny. A Purified hundo oddish, which is like the 5th one I got already. So I knew I already completed the family. So I was like, I'll take it. I mean, it is something that I was gonna do anyways. So that's good.
Hondo's a Hondo.
Hondo's a Hondo, just like I love it. Although the only thing that I want is just like 1 Hondo of each line, so it's good every single time. Especially with level 50 around with some of the Pokemon, so that's interesting too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, interesting haul. I mean, like I said, I've been doing a lot of Regis, or at least Registeel, so I was expecting a shiny here and there anyways, so it's not a bad thing. However, though, this last week we had the Slow Discovery event going around, which, that's why I got the shiny Slowpoke. But we also had things like Mega Slowpoke raids, Galarian Slowpoke raids and research. And really, that's all about it. Right, Chris? That's all we had? It was like an abundance of like Slowpoke extra large candy, I guess.
I will say the spawns were kind of cool. It was kind of funny to see how much Slowbro was spawning in the wild, honestly.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. But it was actually interesting. I know a lot of people were looking for the shiny, both Slowbro, because Slowbro was actually spawning in the wild too, and it was actually pretty common, while Slowpoke was another one. So I know a lot of people were looking for the shiny, both evolution and non-evolution one. So in its own sense, that actually kept the grind for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was really hoping for pretty much any of the event shinies, but only the Venonat for little Chris.
Yeah, well, full odds is not bad, especially through the Tingo Rocket Leaders either. So, but yeah, that's really all about the Slow Discovery. I want to say that this was kind of like a chill out kind of event. So I won't give it like a super high rating on it. I want to say maybe I'll give it like a 7.5, maybe. What about you?
I'm thinking an 8. I think it was a pretty nice event to put in between other events for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a big event by any means. Just like you said, I don't think it was like a crazy event, but I don't think every event has to be the best event ever.
Yeah.
It had some really good shinies, and a new mega is always cool. Even though I don't really want to spend all my money on using a Pokemon that's only going to be around for 8 hours. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. Slowpoke isn't something, or at least Mega Slowbro isn't something to really cough about, especially because we have Mewtwo as a Psychic type, and once that Mega comes out, everything else literally goes down the drain. So, in any case, like just as you said, it's not an event that needed to be like on top of another event or even better than the last event or something like that, which is good because at least Niantic knows that you can never make an event that's always going to outlast the last one. And I think in that sense, it makes it for a better understanding that we are not greedy people and want shiny in every single release in every single event. So Niantic does put the hold on a few things, especially because we do have one of the greatest events coming up next month. So and of course, Kibble Community Day was another one. So but with that being the case, I mean, now that the world is coming up and running once again, we've seen a lot of people go out and do the things that we would usually do. We couldn't do it last year for sure. So In that being said, of course, it was just a slow discovery to tell. But
I don't know
anyway,
about you, but it took me a really long time to get that Galarian Slowbro too. I
really?
just couldn't get the quest.
Oh,
Yeah,
you not
I had
got
to
the.
rate it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree that that's the only some downsides. I got like a couple of them during the quest, and I only did whatever anybody would invite me to. It's not like I was actively looking for it
Okay.
and say, "Oh, I need the hundo of this," although it would have been cool to have it.
Nah.
But yeah, that's of course it for the slow discovery event. We do have another one coming up pretty quickly, but let's talk about the special raid weekend that was announced on June 7th, and it was supposed to be for this weekend and this weekend only. So let's see what this special raid weekend happened. So you'll be able to earn extra candy from and find more raids. So it was like a plus raid event from Saturday, June 12th to Sunday, June 13th at 8 p.m. local time. The bonuses are earn twice the candy for catching Pokemon. Trainers level 40 and above will have 3 times the chance of obtaining Candy XL from catching Pokemon. Raids will be appearing more frequently, including 5 stars and Mega Raids. And of course, a reminder that Regirock, Regice, and Registeel will be appearing until Thursday, June 17 at 10 a.m. local time. So, Chris, did you notice an increased amount of raids at the time, of course?
Well, I was gonna say not even the raids, but like a few Pokemon I caught. I was like, I feel like I'm getting more extra large candy. I didn't even know about this.
It was kind of like a sneaking kind of thing that they put in just to make sure that they hold us over for the weekend, because if not, it would have just been the slow discovery event and people would just be raiding Snorlax for the rest of the day. Because Snorlax was in the pool and everybody wants a shiny Snorlax. Unfortunately, the odds are full odds when it comes to Snorlax, so you will never, ever, ever get it unless you do insanely amount of raids or get incredibly lucky.
Shout out JT Valor.
I know, right?
My gosh.
It's like over 300
Many
raids.
raids.
I know, right? I mean, not just JT Valor. I know there was a few other ones that were able to get the shiny, but not the big dogs, at least.
Yeah, the only two I can remember off the top of my head are Kachino Mum and JT Valor. I know there was a lot more I saw on Twitter, though.
I think Poke AK got 2 shiny Snorlax. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the man is insane, but hey, that's how the grind is. However, this event, again, this special raid weekend was only just to give us a little extra push on a lot of things. I did do a couple of extra Registeel raids throughout the weekend. That's why I had as much extra large candy as I have now, which is around 100. But that's because, I wanted to see if I can get something for Ultra League coming up, which we'll talk about in our PvP section in just a moment, since it is time for that anyways. But yeah, that is the special raid weekend, which came to pass, and that's really about it about the recaps. I don't think there's hasn't been much to talk about since everything else is just past tense. So it's time to talk about new tense. Today's richest topics will include, of course, Chris, what will be the first thing that you are going to mention?
Dude, I'm really excited about this. We did a lot of speculating on which Pokemon would be the next Shadow Legendary. And we finally found it out. We get to save Shadow Ho-Oh from Giovanni next.
Now, this is a brand new Shadow Legendary that we have not been able to capture before. The only ones we ever had the chance to were either the Legendary Birds, the Legendary Beast, and of course Mewtwo. So this is a brand new one to start a new cycle, hopefully a new cycle of the Johto ones, because we were missing one more Johto Legendary that we want Shadow, and I know everybody wants that for sure.
Dude, as soon as they announced Ho-Oh, I'm like, oh, you teasing us now.
Yeah, definitely something they're expected to be. But how is this going to happen? Well, Shadow Ho-Oh will be in Giovanni's Grass from Thursday, June 17, which is actually this Thursday coming up, at 12 a.m. to Wednesday, September 1st, and at 12 a.m. local time. So we do have quite a bit of time to actually do this. And say Shadow Ho-Oh. I'm pretty sure that somebody's probably gonna get it like on the first day, unless the research breakthrough or the research that we're gonna have to earn the Super Rocket Radar, it's going to halt their progress. But September 1st, that's quite a bit of time actually. That's 2 months and a half, I think. That's the rest of June, July, August, and then the end of or the beginning of September. So that's close to almost 2 months. That's crazy.
Wow.
All of July, all of August, and half of June. So yeah, 2 months and a half. That's crazy. I don't know why they would actually put it for this long though. We know we can finish it around a month. So why would
The only thing I can think is maybe people were complaining, I didn't get my legendary shadow, even though everyone else has 3 of them.
I know, right? Also, we wanted to actually mention something about the Shadow Zapdos encountered until June 17. You are still able to get it if you complete the Higher the Flight Rocket Raider. However, we did not have an extra bonus event to get another Super Rocket Radar, so the people who already completed it, they weren't going to get another one. It was only for people who were affected throughout when Tingle Rocket was away, so that means the Shadow Zapdos wasn't going to be like your 4th encounter or something, so... that being said, of course, Ho-Ho is pretty cool, but I know, just like Chris mentioned, this is a tease to come in the next few months for sure. I hope that during September 1st or by the end of September 1st, or I'm sorry, by the beginning of September 1st, they'll tell us the magical words we want to hear, the Shadow L part, but so...
I will say, out of all the Shadow Legendaries we've had so far, this is definitely the one that I would love a perfect for Master League.
Oh, yeah. Either perfect for Master League or enough for Ultra League too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a bad
the
idea.
Incinerate damage is going to be insane.
It's like a power-up Talonflame for the Ultra League.
Oh, yeah.
So, I wouldn't be too disheartened if it's not better IBs. But we'll see, because I always get crappy IBs on this. Even my Shadow Mewtwo's are like the worst, no matter how much you look at it. So we did mention, before we continue on to the next news here, we did mention that Regirock, Registeel, and Regice will be appearing in raids until June 17. We do have the final raid hour for Regice coming up this Wednesday. We do have Slowpoke Spotlight Hour coming up tomorrow, and we'll earn twice the candy from transferring the Pokemon. And then, of course, on June 17, we do have the Solstice event coming up at 10 a.m. local time, which is lucky because I'll be, I'm off this entire week anyway. So some Pokemon will probably switch hemispheres for that reason between the northern and summer here. We're probably going to see this shift in Solrock and Lunatone, which kind of sucks because I still need Lunatone anyways.
I need both.
Yeah, but we'll probably hear or understand more news probably tomorrow, most likely. So that way we get a little prepare on what's to come, more to come in that Solstice event. So, because I don't think it's going to be just the same as the last one. They're probably going to release something new, or they're going to do something that we haven't seen before. We'll see once the full news of that comes up, probably tomorrow, most likely tomorrow. So,
always.
Yes, definitely. So, last podcast we did mention about a GPL bug. Well, I don't know if it was an intentional bug or it was something that they implemented at the time, which was the reduced Stardust that we were gaining through our battles. Through some analysis and some of the Poke YouTubers, they actually found out that we were receiving at least 18% less Stardust than the previous season. We did talk about this, but there was a fix thanks to, of course, the community. Niantic acknowledged this fix, and they said, okay, so at the beginning of today, like immediately after the announcement, all the requirements of Stardust gain will be the same as last season. However, though, there was one more thing that they said to compensate for the players, and this is what they say. Trainers, we have increased the Stardust rewards for Go Battle League to match the amount of awards at the end of Season 7. The initial reduction was an oversight, and we apologize for the inconvenience it caused. To compensate for the missed Stardust in the first week of the season, we are increasing the end of Season 8 Stardust rewards to twice the amount of Season 7's. We want to thank the Go Battle League community for noticing this error and quickly bringing it to our attention. So again, this was an oversight from them when Season 8 finally started. But you know how the community is dedicated, and I know people were voicing their opinions in Twitter for sure. Where they were able to fix the oversight and now give us an even greater award. So if you are not going to rank 20th, I really suggest you get ranked 20th this season for sure.
I do feel like this is one of the times that the players were definitely justified in their, I don't really want to call it complaining, but voicing their concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah, because easily Stardust is probably the hardest thing to get to enter any of these Pokemon, you know?
Well, one of the things that a lot of people were mentioning is like the ability to do Go Battle League was already a investment. The investment, of course, was that you have to power up Pokemons that you usually wouldn't power up either because of the AVs or something similar. Of course, you also want to use Pokemons like Extra Large, and you know those just cost an insane amount of Stardust no matter what. So the investment has to be rewarded by something that they could do in game. So this was basically the in-game reward that we needed, and it was hard enough to say that if we don't, if they don't do it or it was an oversight, they needed to fix it right away. So I do believe that it needed to be possible in that regard.
Yeah, I feel like there should be more instances in the future of ways to get Stardust, because, oh my gosh, people may have a big stockpile, but it's gone after you power up like 2-3 Pokemon, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been sitting around,
especially legendaries.
Yeah, I've been sitting around the 4K Stardust, but every now and then I power up something to either level 50 or level 40, and the Stardust, it just like disappears. Like it doesn't even matter.
Dude, I think we're both at the same.
Yeah,
we're both at the same again.
So it's kind of like a race in the end of it.
It's really close. Like, really close.
I'm at 3.6 right now. How much you are?
3.6.
Oh my god. Okay. So but yeah, I'm kind of glad that at the end of the day they did fix the issue as soon as possible. But I'm also glad that the community pulled together in all the sense. Now, I wouldn't say that everybody in the community was really happy, or I'm sorry, they were really disbelief with what happened, the oversight of this from Niantic. So it's a full-time live game. I do believe that there will be times that like this that it could happen, not just to GBL but through other means, like some glitches out there or like the Pidgeot like banning and all that stuff. Unfortunately, things like this are gonna happen, and in the end of the day, it's better to communicate reasonably to the creators than having to literally bash them for no reason. If it was something that it was intentional, of course we will bash them. But if it was something that it was an overcast over this, then of course they've made a mistake. They knew how to fix it.
I do think it was hilarious because I do know they said something about there'll be certain times that you'll get more Stardust, you know, during Go Battle Night, for example. A lot of people were comparing it to last season, and you were still getting less, even after the boosted nights.
Yeah.
So that's why people were freaking out. That
is for sure. So kudos to Niantic to actually realizing their mistake and quickly fixing it with an extra rewards in the end of the day. So, and it's also good that they didn't just like hang out Stardust to everybody for no reason, because I know people were spending Stardust and not getting enough. But at the same time, there's no point of not earning it at the end of the day. And this is good. They double it by the end of the season in that regard. So yeah, that is the quick miscellaneous news on that. But we do have a little piece of news for our upcoming GoFest event next month. And this is, of course, the confirmation that, yes, Mayoletta will be the featured mythical Pokemon in Pokemon Go's GoFest 2021. Now, how does this fare out, Chris? I have no idea. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not even sure on the typing, I'll be honest. I
So
do know the typing of her other form, but what's her main form typing?
I think it's a normal form.
Yeah, yeah. What is it? Just a normal type?
I
Oh,
believe.
normal psychic.
Yeah.
That's a decent typing. Kind of immune to ghost types in a way. But in
Yeah.
Pokemon Go, it's gonna take neutral. Or no, it's still gonna resist it once
Yeah.
because of the immunity. That's interesting.
Now, of course, Violetta has two forms: the area form, which will be the ones that they release throughout their, I think, throughout the time, but they also have the Pirouette form, and this one turns it from
Really?
my psychic type to a fighting type. So we are fighting normal type in the sense when it transforms. Now we haven't really seen transformations in Pokemon Go yet. We've seen different forms, just catchable in different ways. So it's not something that we're probably gonna see anytime soon. But we at least will have, of course, a new mythical Pokemon, which is, to be honest, a Gen 5 or Gen 6? Gen 5.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got
I
it.
was gonna say I got no idea on that one, sadly.
Yes, Malera is a Gen 5 Pokemon, mythical Pokemon actually, apart from Keldeo, but it is interesting in that regard. Keldeo is another mythical Pokemon that everybody wants. Although I believe Keldeo was a legendary, but no, it's a mythical. It's a mythical.
I will say I'll be pretty disappointed if this is my first good IV mythical. Literally all the ones I've had at the events before have been like N 13, 11, stuff like that. Not horrible for PvP, but I want to get a perfect in there somewhere, man.
I agree. I don't
And
have many
actually,
I don't think I have a mythical perfect yet. Now that I think about it, between the Access, Genesect, Darkrai, Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, and Victini, I don't think I have a perfect yet of the mythicals. Not even Melbattle.
even Darkrai,
Even
even
Mel.
Darkrai, man, 98.
Yeah, for some reason the mythicals just don't like me as Hundos. That's for sure. Which kind of sucks because I never. Now that I think about it, I never really had a Hundo mythical Pokemon. What the heck?
Soon, soon.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Now there is something that they posted today specifically, and we're gonna let you listen to it. It's a little sneak peek of what we're going to experience as the music composed by Junichi Masuda in Pokemon Go Fest. So I'm gonna play it out right here, real quick. Like at the end of that, it was like the bass or the drums just like it was like the Pokemon Go theme song and all that stuff. I'm just like, this is actually amazing, and I want more of it for sure.
Any music that is different than the music we already have in the game is very, very appreciated.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, in all sense, just having Masuda actually doing the music is amazing. So I hope that we'll get some news coming up pretty soon, not just for Pokemon Go Fest 2021, but for other things. Tomorrow is the Nintendo Direct for E3. So I don't know if there's anything going to be with Pokemon wise because this is not a Pokemon present. But you never know. There may be like special things going around just to hold us over until like the next event or something. But I don't get my hopes up that much because it is a Nintendo, not a Pokemon Direct in that sense. However, though, I think that's really all that we have. I believe that all the news that's out there. Now, there is one last thing that I did wanted to mention, and let me go back to Pokeminers actually for this. So this is, of course, things that they found in the APK mine. We do have a new loading screen coming up. And it's actually pretty cool because we have things like all the musical Pokemons. We have Zigzagoon and Ponyta. Jigglypuff, for some reason, it has like a guitar, wooden guitar or something. So it's kind of interesting when it says the least. And they're like in an abandoned ship or something. I have no idea why.
I actually already have that screen.
Yeah, well, it's out for a lot of the Android phones until it hits the iPhone stores. So
iPhone.
yeah,
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
There was some more assets included into it. There looks like there's going to be a new Milky Way and a moon cycle in game that you can see over the world in Pokemon Go, which we don't see much aside from clouds outside of the game, of course. There's also some interesting stuff when it comes to like new raid one icons and things like that. We also have new Ray Stadium assets, which this is interesting because it actually like amplifies the gym itself. You know how the gym looks like when we're on array, right? This one is a
Yeah.
stadium, so it's like 2 times, 3 times the size of this, and it looks like there's gonna be people from like us actually in the stadium itself. Plus, what kind of raid it is, the banners of the colors of the teams, and some other stuff. So I don't know. This actually seems that they're either going to be a raid system update or a gym system update, and that's going to be pretty cool if it is at least.
Sounds like lag.
Yeah, probably. We do
I am
have
excited though, to be honest.
we do have the confettis ready to go for the biomes, and then some music and things like that. Of course, the encounters in game and all the stuff that Pokemoners has been able to dig up in the last few days. And yeah, that's pretty much it on that. And one more thing, actually. Just recently, the remote raid pass feature that allows you to purchase a raid pass when your bag is full is now live worldwide. We did talk about this earlier in the last few weeks, so it's kind of nice to see it finally implemented. So you don't miss a raid when you get invited and you have no passes.
Well, I mean, I love this quality of life improvement. The only thing we need now is a little notification before they send the raid that they can like ring a bell for us or something,
Yeah, I know it's kind of hard when your game is.
I do appreciate it though.
Yeah, no, definitely. When you're like in the raid, or I'm sorry, when you're outside of the game and you're like doing something else, and then all of a sudden you get a notification. I kind of wish there was some kind of sound for that. And it gives us maybe a couple extra seconds to get into the game because sometimes it's completely off or something.
Yeah, always in the middle of a battle or, team go rocket, get out, see the flash of orange, it's gone.
Yep.
A little bit of a heads up in the middle,
Or whenever you actually come out of a battle and all of a sudden you see the banners that somebody invited you to something, I'm like, oh, well, damn it. Yeah. So that's the small little things that we have been able to find. So that's interesting. Maybe more coming up pretty soon, hopefully. But we'll talk about that probably next week. All right, Chris, how about we get into our PvP section? Get good, get right. Here we go.
All right.
So, real quick, Season 8 Ultra League has just started today. What do we expect to see now the more extra large candy Pokemon? And I think I'm usually asked this every single time a new league comes in, but what do we have? Like, I have a Garchomp that's ready for Ultra League for sure, but what are the things that we have plus extra large ones,
A lot of the same ones for sure. We're still going to see a lot of Stunfisk Galarian. We're going to see a lot of Abomasnow, Talonflame for sure after that Calm Day. But I think a few of the ones that we're going to see a little bit more and more as time goes on are going to be ones like Ninetales Alolan, especially since we're starting to get more, I would say, not necessarily more Vulpix, but more Alolan Vulpix spawning in the wild.
Right.
And definitely the trades are definitely going to help that. Ooh, yeah. A lot of these are interesting to me, but I don't think they're very common Pokemon. So I'm trying not to talk too much. I don't think Berserker is going to be extra large Pokemon, for example. Maybe Nidoqueen.
Okay. Maybe.
Other than that, I'm not sure.
Well, we do have some new Poison type Pokemons becoming strong in the meta, both in Great League and Ultra League. Do you think that maybe as a Poison type Pokemon that may see the light of day in Ultra League Premier? Because I know that regular Ultra League is like insanely overpowered legendary Pokemons, anyways.
You're talking Premier or Remix?
Well, I want to say Premiere. I don't know. Is the remix up?
Premier.
I don't even remember if the remix.
The remix is on PV Poke already, and already right off the bat, the first Pokemon you see near the top is Nidoqueen Shadow at freaking 7, which is insane.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
this is the same league that has Giratina Origin in it, you know.
True.
But yeah, you see, it's dominated by extra large Pokemon at the top. Out of the 10 spots, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the 10 spots is extra large Pokemon. So I know a lot of people are very disheartened to see, you know, their Pokemon are probably not going to outbulk the bulk masters.
Yeah, that's for sure. Between Umbreon and Skarmory and all the other Pokemons, there's not gonna be an easy time for us anymore. So if you really want to get into Ultra League, I do suggest investing in some extra large Pokemons if you have them. Things like maybe Talonflame will be nice and neat to see, even though Remix has a band. But the other Pokemons that may see the light of day, and if you have the extra candy for, you might as well go ahead and use them. However, just because extra large candies are starting to overpower some of the meta, it doesn't mean that the Pokemon you had before during the level 40 would be bad in its own regard. So it's just going to be a lot more grindier in that regard. So don't get discouraged, players, because I know for a fact that not everybody's going to have the same Pokemon. Mm-hmm. But you'll see them as you go along the leagues for sure. You just have to prepare.
I will say I am not surprised that one of the Pokemon I thought would be near the top metas up here, U2 Armored. Since Cresselia is not on the playfield, I really felt like this chonky boy is going to be near the top. And he actually takes out quite a few of the extra large Pokemon. He takes out Abomasnow, takes out Politoed, he takes out Nidoqueen. I don't see the extra large symbol next to them, so I'm hoping that includes them too. But it's gotta be fairly close. But yeah, I do think he's going to be very relevant, especially since you don't have to power him up to level 50.
Yeah.
Other than that, there are some really fun ones to try. I think Steelix is one that people overhyped before, but after the buff to Dragon Tail, I think he's going to be a lot more relevant now. Very interested to see people play him.
All right. Yeah, I can see that happening. Well, we'll see how that one will go. But
it's going to shift first day.
Yeah, that's for sure. So just let us know what kind of Pokemon are going to be using in Ultra League. We would love to hear from everybody out there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the update on GPL. But what else do we have, Chris, that we want to mention to our viewers or listeners, actually?
The final update for the factions for the faction I'm in, Switchmasters, we're actually able to barely take the win against Aquatail Hunger Force. Very, very good battles, by the way. Mm-hmm. Very close battles. Able to clutch in 11-10. So it was very close. It was not easy wins. It was very fun. We won 2, 4. Yeah, we won 4. Am I counting right? No. We won 3 out of the 5 teams we matched up against. I'm hoping during the first actual season, we're able to do even stronger. We're going to practice a lot more. We didn't practice too much, to be honest. We just kind of depended on the skills that we already knew. We didn't really focus on practicing against the teams that we were going to be seeing. So I'm very interested to see how our success changes after that, because we have very, very strong trainers on the team. I'm very interested to see how we improve together going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what to say.
you still had a winning record of 3-2, so that's not bad.
I do think we did a lot better than I would normally expect. I knew we had some good trainers on the team, but you're like these are trainers I've never played with them before. I've maybe seen their names on Twitter before. So is definitely an honor to see each of them perform really well in some of the places I performed worse, and it was very nice to perform well in a few of the rounds for them. I will say the three from each one. I don't know if they were able to. I don't know if they did anything other than shout out the top three from each team, from each area. But I'm just going to shout out North America because that's the one I'm in. Marylanders PvP. I hope I'm not butchering that. Social Swablu and Cool Cats. A lot of very popular people in those. There was a lot of popular people in the other areas that I was not surprised to see on top, especially people like Tho Technical. Very cool to see. You always see people streaming and on Twitter, showing off that, hey, got to legend, getting those high ranks, and people are just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then you see them perform in Sylph, and they're doing the same results, and that like these people aren't faking their skills; they got skills, and it's very cool to see. I really like that.
That's for sure. That's for sure. They do grind the game really, really hard to be the very best, and to say the least, that's an overcompensation. No, they grind almost every single day. They don't take a day off and two whenever they can, but they know how to battle or when to battle, or even know what type of matchup you're going to. You even can predict something that's gonna come up for no reason.
I find it crazy how much people have memorized these scenarios of certain Pokemon duking it out. I mean, there's definitely going to be some weird ones in there. Like, for example, maybe they don't see themselves fighting a Shadow Credilli, but they still know how to improvise. So it's always funny to see them fight the spicy Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, either way, congratulations to all the players out there and the ones that, of course, won their fraction areas. So make sure you check them out if you didn't. Celt Arena's fractions will always be around. So just as Chris mentioned, it's just a matter of practice. Maybe next time, Chris, you'll bring the goal for us. So we'll see how that one goes.
Top three. Hopefully.
All right. Well, with that being said, I don't think there's anything else to talk about because aside from having the bit of miscellaneous news and updates, I got nothing else. You got anything else, Chris?
Nah. Unless you want to try an Ultra League battle, but I mean, we've done that before.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that even though our live viewers wouldn't want to see that anymore, so mostly because we're probably gonna be using the same Pokemon no matter what. But we'll see. Definitely check us out on our social media because we are streaming almost every other day that we can. We do both Pokemon Go, Chris does pack openings, I do my own Sword and Shield stuff and all that, so definitely check us out on our Twitch channels, myself here in the Pure Lighter and Chris in Pokemon Trigger Please. But if that's everything, of course, that we have, Chris, I'll just go ahead and say thank you so much for listening, everybody. I know this was a shorter podcast than usual, and that's because I was expecting just a little bit more news than what we got today. But oh well, we can't really say that it was a bad podcast no matter what. So once again, thank you for listening. Make sure you listen to us in all the other podcast services, of course, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all those places. If you can leave us a review, we would greatly appreciate it. I'm always grateful that I still see people wanting to listen to a podcast. We have reached over the 3,000 download threshold. So thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it very much. Don't forget
Holy
to
cow.
no, right? Don't forget to follow us on our social media. Myself and Peter Let Go, Chris at Pokemon Trigger, please. And of course, you can always email us at thepurifiedpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget, check us out at the Professor Network, thepurifiedpodcast.com, Professor Network. So, with that being said, Chris, I think you can go ahead and take us away for the night.
All right, all right. Definitely looking forward to next week. Hopefully, we find out what the mystery raids are going to be after the Reggies leave. Let us know what you're hoping it is on Twitter, perhaps. Your little conspiracy theories, is it going to be the Galarian Reggies? Is it going to be Regigigas? I got my money on Regigigas.
Me too.
Possibly the shiny. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hope you guys enjoy your weekends and, enjoy your time. Get that Stardust. Peace out.
Keep purifying them. We'll see you guys next time.